Hi boys and girls, it's story time again, and today's story is called The Elves and the Shoemaker. And it was written by Violet Finley, and the pictures were illustrated by Martha Elves. Once upon a time, there lived a kind shoemaker and his wife. Times were hard, and they became very, very poor. One day, they had only enough leather to make a single pair of shoes. The shoemaker put the leather on his table. "Tomorrow, I will make one last pair of shoes to sell at the market," he said sadly. But a magical thing happened. When the shoemaker woke up, the leather had already been turned into a fancy pair of shoes. "Whoa! I will sell these at the market," he said. The shoemaker sold the shoes for a bag of gold. With the gold, he bought more leather. The shoemaker put the leather on his table. The next morning, he found 2 fancy pairs of shoes. "Whoa! I will sell these at the market," he said. And so he did. Again, the shoemaker used the gold to buy more leather. He put the leather on the table. The next morning, he found 3 fancy pairs of shoes. Life went on like this for many months. In time, the shoemaker and his wife sold many shoes and became very, very rich. The shoemaker and his wife were happy but also very curious. Who was making all these fancy shoes? One night, they decided to find out. Instead of going to bed, they hid behind a curtain. When the clock struck midnight, in came 2 little elves. Zippity zip. They made 100 pairs of the fanciest shoes ever seen. Then they danced a joyful jig and left. "2 elves have been making the shoes," said the shoemaker. "Did you see their tattered clothes? Let's make them some new ones to say thank you," said his wife. All day, the shoemaker and his wife worked and worked. She made 2 tiny outfits. He made 2 tiny pairs of shoes. They put new clothes on the table and hid. When the clock struck midnight, in came the 2 elves. The elves were surprised to see the fine clothes instead of the leather. Zippity zip, they put on shirts, pants, and shoes. Then they danced a joyful jig and left. The shoemaker and his wife never saw the 2 elves again. But thanks to their good deeds, all 4 of them lived happily ever after. The end.